Hello, welcome to this pick a card reading. I am Gabby Turner. It's nice to have you to my humble abode, which is a bit disheveled today, but we're doing what we can. Sometimes life is disheveled, isn't it? And that's okay. We're in the middle of eclipse season as I'm recording this. So, you take the good with the bad. But I've got 3 options here for you. As you know from the thumbnail and the title of the video, in this pick a card, we're looking at the question, what's left unsaid? And so this pertains to a romantic connection. And so I would ask you to go ahead and pull that particular person in your mind that you're wanting to get an answer from in this reading. So what's left unsaid? We have 3 reading options. So as you have that person in your mind, take a few slow, deep breaths and release those breaths. And then figure out which of these 3 options is reaching out to you the most. Number 1 is Fluorite. Number 2 is Danburite. And number 3 is Ametrine, I believe. Yeah. So Fluorite, Danburite, and Ametrine. Let me try to hold this a little bit more steady for you. So once you have made up your mind, or followed your intuition rather, you can use the timestamps below. You'll also find information below about personal readings. And I'll be glad to have you for a personal reading. I'm on Keen if you like to get pay-per-minute readings. And also I have an Etsy shop, or you can order from my website. I have multiple ways of ordering. If you want a pre-recorded video reading that is made specifically for you and your questions, that is all available. But right now let's focus on this reading. And once you've chosen, you can find your timestamp for your reading in this video listed by the name of the gemstone and the number. So number 1 Fluorite, number 2 Danburite, number 3 Ametrine. All right, I'll see you there. Okay, group 1, you chose the Fluorite. Welcome to your reading. So what is left unsaid? So I feel like, first of all, the motivation, the basis for the motivation of what is left unsaid here, what this person has to say to you in this reading, is they do want love. And I mean, they want to express love. They're coming from a loving place. This message is coming through from a loving place. And they want things to get better between the two of you, because they do like having you in their life. I mean, I would say that they want, to me it feels like they want to move things up to the next level with the Judgment, especially with the 4 of Wands, because the 4 of Wands is about celebratory milestones, like positive, happy moments that we spend together, where we're, celebrating our good fortune that we're sharing. They want to share good fortune with you. They want to share good times with you. And so that's the motivation behind what they have to say here. So what's left unsaid? We have the Tower card and the 6 of Pentacles. So I feel that there was some moment when life was falling apart at the seams, and I don't know if they had offered you some sort of assistance. It could be the other way around, right? It always can be in these types of readings, but because this is a public reading and people are going to get the energy coming in different ways. But it just seems like maybe whoever was trying to offer something to the other person, I'm thinking it was them trying to help you maybe at a time of crisis. Or maybe you wanted help in a time of crisis. it just seems like the situation maybe didn't go well or something like that. Like either they didn't come through with the help that they had promised. It just feels like a very chaotic situation. Basically, someone wanted to help the other person, or someone was asking for help and support in a moment of crisis, but it feels like somehow the situation imploded. And so I feel like they're reevaluating that. We have the Four of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. It's kind of like they would like to be able to like attempt again to offer support again, but they're just not really sure how it would go. Or it's almost like they feel like you wouldn't even need the support now that they're prepared to actually give you the support and do it in a way that is helpful. They're thinking that maybe you wouldn't actually want it, or you wouldn't actually need it, or you wouldn't trust them to give you support now based on what happened in the past. Tell me more about this Tower card. What are they saying about this Tower card? Yeah, I feel like there was a moment where this person really was expected to uphold this energy of the Magician, the Emperor, and the Ten of Pentacles. They were expected, whether this is a man or not, this is like showing up as a man, right? They were supposed to show up as a man, as a patriarch, perhaps, especially with the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles. It's sort of like patriarch energy, to find a solution to a problem. So maybe you were going through a problem, and this person they should have like showed up with their masculine energy and found a viable solution. They should have been a provider, I'm getting, with the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles. What does this person want to say about that? Wow. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Star and the Empress. I mean, and then the Death and the High Priestess. We'll start with these two cards. Like, this person knows that you deserve the best. You deserve to be cared for. You deserve to be appreciated. You're fully deserving of that. I feel like what they're acknowledging is that their support for you has not been, like, they have not risen to the challenge that they know that they are supposed to meet. Because I feel, you know, it's almost like they feel intimidated, or they feel a power struggle here between the two of you. And a lot of that power struggle is based on things that are not being openly spoken and openly acknowledged. Why do I say that? Because these cards both point in their own ways at sort of secrecy, or things that are kind of withheld and not open. The Death card is related to the sign of Scorpio, and the High Priestess, to me, it's more like Pisces energy. I think that people relate it sometimes to Cancer, but either way, it's like these are water energies, and they're just about those things that are not always openly spoken, but things that are felt, or, you know, the things we don't necessarily talk about, but everybody knows. It's like an unspoken open secret. I feel like there's some sort of unspoken open secret between the two of you that caused this person not to rise to the challenge and be that person to provide safety, to provide security, to provide a solution when you needed help the most. They do feel that you deserved that, or that you do deserve that. You know, they see you as very deserving, and they see you also as coming through with your you know, beautiful, loving Venus energy with the Empress and the Star card. Like, you're not dropping the ball. So they would like to acknowledge that. You, Group 1, are not dropping the ball. You're very loving. But the way they either, you know, sometimes people can even offer support in ways that are like secretly sort of controlling. You know, it could have been that they had tried to do something like that. Either they didn't offer the support that they were supposed to, or they offered it with strings attached because they were trying to control you, because they felt intimidated that they saw you as uncontrollable. High Priestess. Like, you may have been in your Lilith energy, you know, very loving, but, you know, Lilith cannot be suppressed. And yet people have this desire to suppress her. So, Lilith is, for those of you who don't know, like, she was the first wife of Adam, and she didn't want to be less than Adam. She wanted to be seen as a true equal. Yeah, we can be different, but still equal. And I guess that wasn't allowed, and so she fled, you know. So Lilith has this sort of wildness, and yet the angels were sent out to find her and basically control her so that she would be controlled by Adam, but that didn't work out. So then they decided to create Eve. But anyway, I'm not telling the story very well, but I don't know. It's just giving me this energy that they are finding you to be someone who, yeah, you're bringing all the love and the beautiful womanly energy here, but they wanted to be able to control you. Control you with what they were providing or something. You seemed like a little bit too much of a wild spirit, too untamed. Yeah, so they did see the Five of Swords. There was a power struggle in their mind. They're acknowledging that they were experiencing this as a power struggle between the two of you. But they, you know, what they're saying is, like, I think about you a lot because I have deep feelings for you. Even if the two of you are not openly communicating, they're still, the connection between the two of you is still progressing in terms of their own inner landscape, because their emotions are still on a journey. We have the King of Cups and the Chariot card. Their inner landscape is still, right? Hangman as well is like going inward, being reflective. They're still going through a whole journey in their connection with you, even for those of you who you're not openly communicating. Yeah, I mean, because this person still loves you. They're still attracted to you. I feel like they still want to be with you, but again, they are viewing you as kind of a wild card of untamed and untamable energy that feels intimidating to them. I think they are afraid, basically, that they would get hurt by that. Yeah, it's like there's a part of themselves that wants to rein you in, you know. This is reminding me of the rod that's mentioned in the Bible, right? Is it a rod? But it's like, you know, when you're tending sheep, it's basically a form of punishment. It's like there's a punishing quality, like this person has this, it's hard for them to resist this idea that they need to punish you and put you in line. But they feel that you would never submit to that. You would just, you know, go off and do your own thing so as to avoid that. Because you can succeed on your own without this person so you don't have to just submit to them. Submit is the word that I've been looking for this whole time. I've been talking about Lilith. Lilith does not submit, and that's how they feel that you are. You don't submit, yet you're very loving, but you will flee. You will go off and do your own thing and make a life for yourself. Okay, what else do they want to say? I mean, I would just say this person is deep in thought. We have the Moon card, and then on the bottom of the deck, the King of Pentacles. They're deep in thought, and their thoughts are about, how do I have emotional security with group 1? They want that, but they know that that is a scary journey to take, because it would mean having to confront their own feelings of insecurity, about the fact that you are not submissive, their own feelings of insecurity because they do really love you, and I feel like they don't want to lose you. So I would say, if I had to summarize this message, what's left unsaid: I really love you. I still want to be with you. I want us to create happy milestone moments together. I want us to be able to celebrate our lives together and to be happy. However, I know that I have not approached this relationship in the way that I should have, because I've been afraid of losing control. I've been afraid of losing you. And in the very process of being afraid of losing you, through not being able to have full control of you, I feel like that is what is going to make me lose you, or maybe already has made me lose you. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to confront my own inner demons that are causing me to drop the ball here. I am going to be making a further attempt, or further attempts, at correcting my previous mistakes with you. Because I really do want us to be together. So I'm going to leave the message at that, because I feel like if we go further, it'll get less clear, you know. So I think that's a message that did have a lot of clarity. And I hope that it was helpful. I want to thank all of you for watching. Thank you for sitting with me in my disheveled life, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 2, you chose Danburite. It says, turn on your electric light on the back. You know, I was just thinking, I was looking at this card, prepared to record for you guys, and I was like, oh, this is a little bit phallic, you know, somewhat. And then I split the deck. No lie, I split the deck to start to shuffle, and then I didn't shuffle because I wanted to be able to show you the cards that came out. When I split the deck, we have the Ace of Wands and the Tower card, like the two most phallic cards in the deck. So whatever this person has to say, it has something to do with, I would say, sex, and or their, you know, if this is a male, their male organ. What's left unsaid? Let me talk about my dick. Or your dick, I guess. But I'm just gonna, I can't, it's too complicated to try to like take into account every scenario. So I'm just gonna assume that this person is male. And I know that some people get frustrated because that's not their situation, but that's the most people who are watching for a male. And if you're not, I'm sorry, you know, this is free. You know, Jesus took 5 fish and 5 loaves of bread, and he fed how many people? Was it like 500 people he fed? I'm not Jesus. I love Jesus. I think Jesus is great. But I can't take my tarot card and, you know, like I can do one reading that helps a lot of people, but I'm not going to be able to satisfy everyone. Really, what does this person want to say about, what is this phallic energy about? What's left unsaid here? What do they need to say to group 2? Well, they want to talk about a desire, I think, for like marriage and till death do us part. Still don't know what exactly that has to do with the phallic energy. What's the phallic energy talking about? It could be some sort of conflict here. I'm getting that it might be it could be like, you know, should we wait until marriage type of a question. What's left unsaid? Some sort of conflict. Either the two of you may not have agreed upon, like, should we wait until we're married, or should we wait until this particular moment, you know? Should we wait until we're at least solidly in a relationship? Like, it feels to me, the question of when to begin having sex is either an internal conflict for them, or maybe the two of you have not agreed on it. But we get the Justice card and the Star. Like, this person is saying they want what's best. They want what is best for the connection itself. They don't, I mean, yes, they have desire for you. They have that type of desire for you, but I think they're saying, I would rather do what's best for the connection and what gives the most potential and the most hope to the connection. Yeah, I like, you know, I would love to spend time with your naked body, you know, but I also want to respect our connection and go about things in the right way. They're saying, like, I want to be able to compete with other men. Other men might have different ways of approaching that with you, you know, and I have to just, to be a strong man, to be a real man sometimes means that you harness your own masculine desire. You don't let it rule you. You are the one who's in charge of the use of that masculine desire. And in fact, this Emperor is holding a staff, right? So, but I think this person is saying, like, I understand that there are a lot of men that hold their masculine energy quite differently. There are a lot of men who break their own heart and would be willing to break your heart by misusing their masculine energy, by not being able to harness it, by not being able to be in control of that masculine energy and letting it control them and their urges. But yeah, I would say basically this person is saying that they feel that they have control of their masculine impulses, and that they want you to know that the reason that they're keeping their masculine impulses in check, right? Like waiting for the right time to have sex, having sex in such a way that gives more potential to the long term of the relationship rather than the short-term benefit. That's what they want you to understand, that that's why they're going about things in that way. They're like, I see the error of moving too quickly. Either they have experienced it themselves, or they've seen those bad results. That, like, when people go too quickly into having sex, things fall apart, and they're like, not for me, or at least not this time, you know, like if it's someone who has done that in the past, they're like, nope, I'm going to build my house on, what is it, on rock rather than sand. They're like, I want to build something with you that lasts. And if the two of you are no longer together, they're just trying to explain why they went about things the way that they did. You know, my goal was to build something with you that would last. Yeah, I mean, basically they're reiterating, like, I was investing in the best possible future. I was investing in the most ideal state of relationship that I could possibly have with you. That has been my mindset. Okay, so pretty clear here. What else? Is there anything else this person has to say? They're saying, let's see. Oh, I think they're saying that they want monogamy with you. Okay, they definitely would want monogamy with you at the very least before they had sex with you. Because we have the Three of Cups reversed. They would need, at the very least, to have monogamy with you first. So if that doesn't make sense for your situation, then this is not your reading. Because this is a very specific message. And I trust that it will get to who it's meant to get to. Yeah. But I mean, okay, going back to that phallic energy that we were picking up in the beginning, they don't want you, okay, this is what's left unsaid as well, is like they want to make it clear they definitely are turned on by you. Like, okay, they don't want to give the wrong impression too. That conflict energy from the beginning of the Five of Wands might have something to do with that as well. It's like they're afraid that they are giving the wrong impression of not being sexually attracted. They, without a doubt, 1000% are sexually attracted to you, but they just want to be respectful of the type of relationship that they are trying to have with you, or that they want to have with you. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that is the message. So that was pretty clear, right? You know, you guys watching are going to be having you're going to be coming at it from different phases. For some of you, maybe you are no longer with this person, and this is coming through just to help explain on their end what was happening when you may have been confused. You know, maybe you thought they weren't interested, and so you're used to guys acting in a different way. And you're like, well, if you're not even interested in me, then I might as well move on. You know, it could have been that type of situation. If you're still involved with this person, you know, the message is coming through just so you understand why they are going slow in that particular area and what their mindset is. They definitely are hot for you. However, they've got that bigger picture in mind of what they want. So I would say that they're trying to be very respectful. That there's no lack of interest. Do not think it's going to be like once they have that monogamy, and for some of them they may want actual marriage as well, but at the very least monogamy. But once they get that, don't worry, they're going to be hot for it. You know, it's not going to be like a sexless relationship or anything. All right, but thank you so much, Group 2, for watching. Let me know how you felt about that in the comments, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, hello, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. We're going to be finding out what is left unsaid. And let's see here. I'm getting, first of all, the 6 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. And when I read the message on the bottom of this crystal card, it says, make your big dreams your big life. I feel in your case, they're wanting to say something about getting settled in their career life, getting settled in their job life. Yeah. I feel like they know what they want. They know where they want their life to be in terms of that, in terms of career. But they don't feel like they're there yet. They don't necessarily feel like they have the foundation set up for where they want to be. But yeah, this is definitely something that's on their mind. Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. They're wanting to get their finances together. They're wanting to get their career together. What they do feel like they're bringing to the table for you is love. You know, like they have the love for you. But I feel like they don't think that they have enough. They can't offer you what they think that you deserve in terms of their career and finance aspects of life. I feel like this person is worried about what that means in terms of their pursuit of you. It's almost like they feel like maybe they have to put their pursuit of you on pause, or they're not really sure that they should even try to start pursuing you, or they feel like other guys might have a better financial situation and be more able to have something, you know, to offer you in that sense. I think they feel, they're seeing you as kind of like unbothered. They feel that you are kind of unaware of how much you impact them. Because it hurts them. I think that's, maybe you would have known something about the career part of it. I don't know, but I feel like mostly what they feel is unsaid is that they're hurting. They're hurting because they feel that they're not in the place they need to be to properly have a relationship with you and treat you the way that they feel you deserve. But they also feel that you are oblivious to how much it does cause them pain. They just don't feel, you know, they have thought a lot about it. They're trying to figure out, like, how could we have a partnership? For them, it just isn't clicking because they have a specific idea of what is necessary or where they need to be in their life before they would have that with you. I think they feel that maybe you would want things to start more quickly or something, and that you're just thinking, well, we can jump right to the fairy tale and the happily ever after. But they're just being more cautious, you know. I think they're trying to protect their heart by not really picking up momentum with you. Because, I don't know. I think in their mind, they're like, well, why would I do that? It's not going to last. There's not enough glue to keep it going or something. Or they just don't want to build a relationship or a partnership on shaky ground. And that's what they would feel like they're doing. Now, they may or may not be right about that, but that's their thought process. But it does hurt them. You know, it hurts them to feel like, well, the timing isn't right, my circumstances are not right to pursue group 3 properly. Tell me more about that 3 of Swords, because I feel like the hurt is more what is, you know, not expressed. Or what... yeah, I think they are even like trying to compartmentalize their own hurt feelings here, because they can see themselves being so happy with you. They do toy with the idea of, well, maybe I should just go for it anyway. Maybe I should just take that leap and have faith and trust that love is enough. They definitely know that they would need to be the ones taking action, or like they see it that way. If the Emperor, the King of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, they're like, I would need to take action in order to make this a reality. So they do feel like the choice basically is in their hands and in their actions. Yeah. They kind of see you as someone who is pretty independent, you know. Like they are not seeing you as high maintenance, like very much not. They do not see you as high maintenance at all. They feel that you're very easygoing. I don't know. It's like they're still trying to understand even what the possibilities here are. What's the most important thing to express here? They definitely think that you want a relationship because they're seeing you with the Hierophant energy, but they're saying no to a relationship. They're saying no to a relationship. They do see you as a high value woman. They know that you also see yourself that way, right? You come across to someone who they see you as someone who knows your worth and that you're worth being treated well. They think that you are ready for a relationship, a steady, committed relationship, and that that's what you want. You're not high maintenance, but you do just expect that. You know, you're it's not like you would be a high maintenance person to be in a relationship with, but your standard is, hey, I'm valuable, you know, like treat me with value by giving me that steady commitment. They're saying no to that, though, because they are feeling not ready. They're feeling inadequate, especially in terms of their money. And I don't think that you would think that that's accurate. Like, from your vantage point, I don't think you would see them as not being financially ready, but that's how they're seeing themselves. This person really, hold on. They place a lot of their self-worth on what they do for a living, income, what they do for a living. It's like, it's a point of pride for them, but it's like it's like never enough, to be honest. Like, it would never be enough. They're never going to be satisfied. It wouldn't matter. They would be at the very top of their game, the top person in their field or something, and they would still, you know, it's like there's a feeling of it's never enough. And so I think that this is really causing a problem for them in their love life. It's keeping them small. You know, they could have this. They could have a beautiful, loving relationship, but they choose to play small and keep themselves sort of uncommitted, even maybe in a sort of bachelor energy, rather than settling down, because they feel so much of their worth and their value and the way that they see themselves is tied to work and career. It's never going to be enough for them to feel like they've really gotten to where they want to get. But they feel that they need to get there in order to have that settled romantic relationship, like to settle down romantically. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've created a sort of catch-22 for themselves. Since they're never going to be ready for that, they're kind of settling for a bachelor life, I think. Yeah, but the Lovers card keeps coming out. Like, they know that they could have that with you. They know that they could choose to have that with you. They would have to take the actions. It's a choice. They know it's available. You know? And they know that you're not always going to be available. You know, you're not just going to be waiting around forever. So, I don't know. You know, this person is like, they know that they would need to change in order to be with you, but it's like they're resistant to change. I really feel like they have their own inner resistance to the very change they know. How do they view just staying how they are, this bachelor life, versus changing and becoming what they could be? Yeah. It's like, to them, staying in the bachelor life and not rising to that challenge is the Knight of Wands. Like, it's still fun for them. It's still an adventure. They haven't stopped having fun, living their life in that way. And if they needed to change and settle down, it's the Moon card. You know, the Moon card is not super inviting when you're used to, like, playing out in the sun and leaping and having fun and, like, you know, every day's an adventure and I get to do what I want with my life. I think they're just a little bit afraid, even though that they do, I feel like they do love you and they see that they could have a relationship with you and be happy. At the same time, it's like, this person could have some mother issues. They may have had a mother who either had depression or was hard to satisfy, and it's like it gives them a lot of hang-ups in committing to a woman, because they feel they'll never be good enough. I think in a way it's easier for them to be pursuing their career and always trying to level up in their career, even though they'll never feel good enough in that area either. It doesn't carry the same emotional weight as being in a relationship and never feeling good enough, you know, for the person that they love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's hard for them to feel motivated to, it's like asking someone, are you ready to take the dark night of the soul? Or would you rather have fun in the sun? You know, it's like most people would rather have fun in the sun rather than to take the dark night of the soul. you know, they do secretly crave to mature and to go down that path of the Moon card and to confront their emotional fears. I'm hearing fear of abandonment as well. But it's like they feel like in continuing to live this bachelor life, they kind of feel like they're getting a little bit of the best of both worlds. It's almost like they feel like they're getting away with something. Feels almost like someone who's cheating on their taxes type of energy, like, aha, I'm getting away with something. I got to keep more of my money, and they haven't caught me yet. I don't know. It's like if they're the bachelor lifestyle, they get hints of what it would be like. You know, there are moments when they're like, oh, okay, I kind of get to know what it would be like to like really have a mature, settled relationship without having the burdens of it. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, they feel like it's probably a little bit of a risky path to continue on this way. Yeah, because they're like, I'm not going to be good looking forever. I'm not going to be good looking forever. And like, you know, once I get to a certain age, what if I get to a certain age and I do want to settle down? Then I'm going to need a lot more money to compensate for my looks. I don't know. They have an interesting... They've thought it out, you know. They're like, how long can I continue to gamble being in my bachelorhood and get away with it? Right. They're really... This is just an interesting angle I've never heard come up in a reading before. Like, they're really thinking about, like, well, if I decide to settle down when I'm in my 80s, will I have enough money to entice someone that I'm actually interested in at that age? Anyway. But they know that that might be what they end up with, you know? I feel like they're okay with that, you know? They're like, well, as long as I put enough money away for now, then when I am ready to settle down, I can basically kind of like buy someone's love. I mean, I don't even think they're being cynical about it. I think they're just being realistic that that's how some people receive love the best, is through being taken care of, which is true. And they're like, well, when I'm old enough and I feel like settling down, I'll just have to have enough money set aside for it. So that's the reality here. Bit of a reality check maybe about this person. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely, based on what we picked up, would not... Please do not expect that this person is just suddenly going to have an epiphany and change. Yeah, they've thought about it, but it's like they're wrestling with it even within themselves. That some of you are going to want to think like, oh, if they're wrestling in it with themselves, they're going to end up making the decision that I want them to make. Do not assume that. Do not assume that, because this person is fully prepared to continue to be a bachelor up until their 80s or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just be realistic about it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.